Hello, my name is Tiffany. This is a demonstration for assignment 5 for the timer interrupt programming. This is a 5-part assignment, and the purpose of this is just to use the built-in timer on the board itself. We will be using it as an interrupt and also to develop an interrupt service routine to handle the timer interrupts. First part is I will demonstrate my system. So here we have quartus and the top module file here. I will open qsys though, just to demonstrate the components that are included. For this assignment, it is mostly just using the switches, the 7 segments, display, and did I miss anything? The keys, as well as the LEDs that are on the board itself. So I will go ahead and open my qsys. So here is the system that was built. We are using SD-RAM, so there is a PLL as well on it, which is the clock that we're using, not the built-in clock that is here. So this is the SD-RAM here, and then we have the switches, the LEDs, the keys, and the 7 segment, which is called hex 0 through 7. We have our interval timers and our high resolution timer, as well as the JTAG, and other components that we are not going to use on this assignment. The most important thing before continuing is making sure that the interrupt is checked off, which is the IRQ box, or where it says generate IRQ. So we want interrupts for our keys, so this should be checked, and then our edge capture register should also be on falling, and the IRQ type should be level and not edge. And it works this way, not for rising, because of the key push, and that you want to check it when it's on the level, not edge. So this could work with the switches as well, but we'll keep it consistent. And actually, yeah, I did do falling edge. Yeah, so for the switches, we use the edge instead for the IRQ, and this is checking the edge capture for the register if the logic is true. So the other important thing is also labeling the IRQs on the right side here in this column. So we want to label it as least as the highest priority. So we have our timers as the highest priority, and then everything else that follows, so the keys and the switches after that. So this is our system. So after everything is set up, just make sure to generate the HDL file. There is a warning here because I am using an older processor, so it still works for the projects I'm doing. I wouldn't recommend it for future projects, so this is fine the way it is. And then hit finish. After you're finished, just make sure it's going to show us hierarchy in quartus, and so you can just go to your file so you can look at everything. And then usually since you generate a new file, you want to remove the old ones that that was imported, and then add new files, and then go to wherever you generated your qsys. So my qsys is named unsaved, and you go into synthesis, and you want to include the .v and the .qip files. Oops, excuse me. And then hit OK. The next thing you want to make sure is, once you're adding your wires and such into the top module, is just to actually reference so you want to reference the qsys generated.v file. This really helps with how your top module will look like. So making sure that you have the correct wires, whether they're inputs or outputs, or in and outputs. So like so, making sure that the naming is correct as well, because this is really important for instantiating, because it's dependent on whatever the conduit name is. And then here we have our switches and keys. There's not really anything to include for the system other than the qsys to generate the IRQs and make sure those are checked off. Otherwise, the interrupts will not work the way you want it to work. Okay, so once you imported all your files, the next thing you want to do is actually make sure that you have all your pin assignments. So the DE2-115 board actually comes with a CD that has all of the tutorials and such. There are pin assignments on there. If you don't know where to get the pin assignments, you can grab them from the Altera manual for the DE series, depending on the board that you have, but it shouldn't really matter for the DE series. But this is how the pin assignment will look. So here's the assignment editor. Make sure that you go in here to check that all your pins are connected to the corresponding name and components that you have. So here there's like a green check mark that shows the status of the pins and what there's the assignment location, it's enabled. Here these are question marks because these are not set up yet. So yeah, this is really important, otherwise the system, when you're programming it, it will not work the way you want it to. So here's the GPIOs. They're not used in this project, but just showing an example. Another way to look at your pin assignment is to check your pin planner. So you can also label the pins here for this names for the items that you have. Make sure you're labeling everything. You can also, if you have a pin planner already, you can actually go to assignments and then do import assignments and then upload a CSV file or QSF. So I already have actually created one, or I grabbed one from the CD that the DE2-115 series that provided and just uploaded here. It will upload all the pin assignments for you, so this saves you a lot of time to do, so that's really important. And then make sure you hit compile, start compilation, and this will take some time. So once you're done compiling, make sure there's no errors. If you're having errors, just double check with your top module. Usually that's the errors that you'll get, like something doesn't exist, or you may forget to put it in the actual module itself. So make sure when you're writing your .v file to include the name of the component and the module, and then to specify the component here. Then afterwards instantiate all your components. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the programmer. I personally like going into the programmer in Quartus because if I go into Eclipse, sometimes it will crash and my code will not be saved, and you don't want that. So we'll just have it like this. So go into, you want to look for your .sof file, so that will be in outputs, and then you click output files. This is my SOF file here. There's multiple ways you can do this. You can do auto detect, and then you're still gonna have to upload the SOF file that was created. Once that is done, you hit start, and you can go ahead and start opening Eclipse while that's set up. Don't close this once it pops up, and then we're gonna go into tools and go to Eclipse. You can also access Eclipse through your own window, or I have it open already, so let's see. Okay, so I do have this open here. So we're just gonna go into test GPIO, and it's empty here. So typically you would want to choose your workspace and then upload the SOPC info file which is the system that you built in order to create this. So I can actually show that too. So we go new, new application. And then this is where you put your SOPC. So that's the SOPC that was created from qsys or quartus. Then you upload that. And we're just gonna do the hello world. Project name is homework 5. And next. And then I'm not going to use any of these other BSP files, so we're gonna build our own. Everything's being generated. Should be good to go. Then you open the homework 5. This is the folder that we'll be working in. The first thing you generally want to do though is to go, actually you want to configure your BSP file. So right click it, go into properties, and then we're going to go into the Nios II BSP properties. It's going to take a minute to load. So you click your BSP editor, and we want to change the timer, the system clock timer, to the system timer. We don't want it on the high resolution timer, so we'll just have it like that. And then you don't need to check any of these because you want to use as much of the storage as possible if you can. Then generate, exit, it will, the BSP will configure, you will apply, and then you press OK, and now you can right click the actual project file, not the BSP, and then build project. So we'll let this run and the background. Okay, and then now we're gonna go open the homework 5 folder and open hello world. This is the hello world example code that comes with Nios. You can, if you want to check that's running properly, you go run as, and then, excuse me, I didn't even show. I did it too fast. Okay, so it's still not detecting my board, which is fine. So we're going to actually go into target connection and scroll right to the right and do refresh connections. And it was already there, but we'll just do it again. You can also check these if you're still getting issues, so we'll apply that, and then you press run, and it should read onto the board. Now take a video of my board here, and since I'm not making any configurations to the board, I have the old assignment on there, so I'm just gonna stop recording that. So yes, here it's demonstrating the hello from Nios II in the console. So